Today we're going to discuss how to freeze the panes in Excel. We will start with simple things such as freezing the rows and the columns and go to more complex examples such as freezing the whole areas. We will also touch upon the additional options such as split and hide. Let's start with the simple options.
In order to see the freeze options, we need to go to the main ribbon, View section, and here we have three options: freeze panes, freeze top row, and freeze first column. Let's check the last two options first. If we push the freeze top row, we can see there is a special line which appeared here after the first row, and if we go in the document down, it will always be visible. In order to unfreeze it, we need to push unfreeze panes. Exactly the same thing will happen if we freeze the first column. We push the button, we see the additional line which appeared after the first column, and now if we move right, the first column will be always visible.
So I hope we are good with the basics. Let's move to the complex options. If you want to see more of the simple tips in Excel, please subscribe to the channel or let me know in the comments.
If we want to freeze the data below the certain line, we need to select the next line after it and push Freeze Panes button. We selected the line 8, and now if we go to the report down, we will see that the first 7 lines will be always freezed. Usually we apply this freeze when we want to lock the headers of the table. So in order to freeze all the elements before the column H, we select the column H and we click the Freeze Panes button. Now if we go to the right, we see that the columns from A to G remain intact and all the parameters of our data remain visible all the time. Now let's try to combine these elements in one. Let's imagine we want to freeze the rows from 1 to 7 and the columns from A to G. In order to do it, we need to select the cell which will have the first row and the first column in the area which we don't want to freeze. In this case, it's the cell H8. So now let's push the button Freeze Panes. If we go down, our headers remain intact, and if we go to the right, our main columns with the parameters also remain visible. In order to unfreeze it, we need to use the button Unfreeze Panes.
The hotkey for Freeze Pane button is a bit long, but I still highly recommend to remember it. It's Alt-WFF. If you want to unfreeze the panes, you need to use the same combination of keys.
Important element to remember. If you start the freezing process when your first cell is not A1, but let's say A5, then after the freezing, you will never be able to see the area which was not visible at the moment of freezing. Another interesting option available in this domain is the split option. You need to select the cell, and if you push split, you see that your report is split in 4 parts. What it allows you to do is to have few views on your report in different sub-windows. Frankly speaking, not the most popular option, but in some cases can be very helpful. If you want to cancel this split, you need just to push the button once again. The last element in this option is hide. If you click this button, the whole worksheet will be hidden. And in order to unhide it later on, you will need to open the different Excel document and use Unhide button.
The hide tool can be helpful when you want to keep your workspace a bit cleaner and you want to hide some supporting documents. With this, I want to conclude. Thank you and see you in the next one.